My name is Steve Smith. This is TQA Weekly. If ever you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or drop them down below on YouTube. And if you want to continue helping me bring you this show every single week and helping other people out there that are in need of help with technology, where I answer their questions in the form of an episode and even personalize the help by email whenever possible, go to patreon.com/TQAweekly, which the link will be down below, and drop me $1 or more per episode. I do 4 to 5 per month, and that will help me continue bringing this kind of episode to you every single week. And for those who are wondering where the money goes, so far, lighting, background, and paying for hosting for the website so you can continue downloading my show every single week. Today's topic is all about the C drive default of Windows. A lot of people don't think about it. Why is it that Windows by default installs to the C drive? Well, we're going to go all the way back to OS2 and MS-DOS. For a lot of you kids out there, that's the little black thingy that loads for the command prompt that allows you to interact with base level commands. So first of all, for those wondering why the hard drive is C, well, floppies were normally assigned A. If you had a second floppy drive, it was assigned B. If you didn't have the second floppy drive, though, it was actually reassigned to drive letter A as a phantom drive. So there was no way that a hard drive could assign itself B at all, because that's just the way the architecture of the main board worked and how the operating system that was used at the time interacted with the motherboard. And for those who didn't know, yes, operating systems often interact with the motherboards. In fact, for some of the stuff I will say, it largely depends on whether your motherboard has support for floppy drive, whether it even has the port or not. So what ends up happening is when hard drives started to become accessible to consumers and installed in computers, it was assigned the C drive. And the C drive is where a lot of the computers would boot to, because now you can actually install DOS to the C drive. And a lot of people used to use these computers for very basic things. Very simple applications, a few games, but graphic user interfaces weren't all that evolved at the time, so it was kind of hard to use those kinds of computers. When Windows 3.0 and 3.1 came out, we actually had a graphic user interface. We did not have USB support yet. Now, here's the thing. Windows continued installing on the C drive for a number of reasons. For one, because the main boards often defined A and B drives as the floppy drives by default. Whether you physically had anything connected to it, and whether or not you had the second floppy drive or not, because it was phantom to the first drive, it was never accessible to Windows. So for a very long time, it defaulted to the C drive. And because it defaulted for so long to the C drive, and because we know how people don't like change, Windows just continued with it. And eventually, motherboards dropped support for floppy drives and IDE drives, which would actually technically allow you the ability to put any drive letter you want. But people are so stuck in their ways that Windows, for all intents and purposes, said, it's a C drive, end of story. You can name it anything you want. And to give you an idea, I have once accidentally named my Windows XP default drive to D, which blew my mind that I could actually do that back then. But still, you can change it to anything you want. You can make it the A drive, provided your motherboard does not have support for a floppy drive period, the X drive, and even the D drive if you absolutely wanted to. I hope this has informed you to why the Windows default install drive is C and nothing else for any other purpose. It always has been and always will be C, unless Windows finally decides that all of the sheep out there can handle change, which we all know we can. So, frankly, Windows, give us something new. Now, for those who liked this episode, like it. For those who didn't, dislike it. If you didn't already subscribe, subscribe to this episode. And don't forget to go to patreon.com/TQA Weekly to continue helping me out produce this show. Have a great day and goodbye.